Last week, I did a post on habits. I said a very simple thing and I quoted Sri Ravi Shankar, where he said that, we get pinched so much by our habits, and until it doesn't cause us a lot of pain, we are not able to let those habits go. Now, I just wanted to go a bit deeper in terms of what I was talking about, when I was referring to habits. I said that you can replace a negative habit with a positive habit, right? I just want to clarify that habits is not just about your daily routine. People look at habits like, yeah, you need to exercise daily, you need to read daily, engage yourself with some great material, you need to maybe meditate daily, do your yoga daily, things like that, eat right. But what I'd like you to understand that these are not the only habits that are going to help you. Yes, they greatly enhance your life and they're very useful in helping you move to the next level. But what I'd like you to understand is that what I'm exactly referring to is the way you're thinking on a daily basis, the way you're feeling on a daily basis, the way you react to situations, the way you show up in your life on a daily basis. This is a very, very important habit that you need to incorporate in your life. How do you show up for yourself on a daily basis? I just want to share an example. I did a group training on Saturday for certain members of a business development team. And, I was just telling them what a bad attitude I used to have when I was in the corporate world. The people I met had such a great attitude. I couldn't believe how happy they were, on a Saturday morning when I would be called for an extra training or for an extra session. I'd be like, no, I don't want to spend my Saturday again with the company. I had a very, very bad attitude. And that's exactly what I was showing up as. And guess what? That became a habit. And that bad attitude, that bad habit of mine in terms of how I would react to additional work, in terms of showing up for extra hours, for my company, actually caught up with my results. Because at the end of my 15-year journey in the corporate world, I actually ended up getting fired. So all the small things that you take for granted, everything has a consequence. Now, I'm not trying to scare you, I'm not trying to threaten you to say that you lose whatever it is that you're doing if you don't change your habits. Yes, you could end up, but this is something that you need to do for yourself. Show up in the right manner for yourself. When somebody says something to you, are you reacting or responding? One way to respond is to pause. You don't have to give an instant response. What you can do is you can pause for a few seconds, think about it, you know, formulate what you need to say in an appropriate manner, and first of all, center yourself and calm yourself down. All right. The second thing I want to talk about is the things that you delve in on a daily basis, on a minute to minute basis as you interact with people. Like a very good example is that if you are in a business or in an office setting, what kind of things are you absorbing on a daily basis? What are you discussing with your colleagues, with your business partners, with your employees? Are you having discussions around growth, around moving to the next level, around problem solving? Or are you focused on the problem? Or are you gossiping? Are you bad mouthing other people in your office, right? What are the things? Because the exact thoughts and feelings that you get involved in are exactly the results that you'll keep seeing in front of you. And this is the reality. We take this for granted. So a very good example is, if you're a person who's constantly stressed at your workplace, or as a boss, or as a business owner, look around. What are the things that are causing you this stress? And change what you are telling yourself about these things. Now, the problem is that we all have a habit of working outside in. So we let our circumstances, whatever is happening outside of us, we let all this determine the way we think and feel on a continuous basis. This is very, very dangerous. And you notice the same things keep happening in your life. Why? Because this is exactly what you're processing inside of you. Remember, the reality, the truth is that your system, your life works inside out. So if you let outside circumstances, people outside of you stress you, bother you, if you let circumstances get to you, you'll never change that habit. You'll always be working outside in. Working inside out is also a new habit that you need to form. And this is very, very important. I remember my mentor, Bob Proctor, was very, very adamant about not watching the news. I always wondered, why would he not encourage you to watch the news? Because you have to know what's happening in the economy. You have to be updated with the information. But guess what? When you sit down to listen to those news, or when you're driving your car, you're on the move and you're listening to these news, your subconscious mind is absorbing all the negativity. Now, just think about it. What is the percentage of positivity in any piece of news that you hear? 99% is to serve you. All right. So what you need to do is ignore everything that's happening outside of you. Focus on what it is that you want. What are the results that you want to drive? Make it a habit to drive your thoughts, feelings, and actions towards what it is that you want to drive in your life. Be it better relationships, be it better health, be it better income levels, be it you wanting to follow your purpose, whatever goal it is that you have in your life. This is very, very important. Thinking right, feeling right is a conscious habit that you have to form. Don't think that things are going to happen to you by chance. Absolutely not. I had to transform my life by making a conscious decision. For me, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing that I do is I feel gratitude for everything that's happening around me. And that is where my first thought, my first positive thought, my first thought of everything that's happening well around me starts. Now, I'm not saying my life is perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. But what are you choosing to think? What are you choosing to focus on? This is very, very important. This is a habit you have to consciously form. And this is something that happens by practice. And another thing I'd like to mention is that a lot of you are probably blaming yourselves for things, that happened in the past. I'd like you to understand that you need to treat your past like a dream. Start treating your past like a dream. Otherwise, you'll be hung up on that past. When you get hung up on your past, the same thoughts, feelings keep repeating in your system. And guess what? Because that's what's processing inside of you. You keep seeing the same results externally. And you wonder why things don't change. So again, you letting go of the past, you thinking right. This is the moment. This is where you create your life. Now is the time. Make it a habit to think, feel, and act right. All right. So this is what I wanted to leave all of you with here today, because I've been really reflecting over this on the weekend, and I just realized that my post might not have been comprehensive enough to go deeply into what I exactly meant. Because what do? We keep changing our surface level habits, but until we don't make changes within us, the actual habits that we really, really need to change, thinking right and feeling right, which are conscious decisions that you have to make. No matter how much exercise you do, no matter how much you read, no matter how many prayers, your meditations, until the change does not happen from within in terms of what you're telling yourself on a daily basis, what you're thinking, feeling, how you're showing up for yourself and in front of other people, do not expect things to change externally. All right. So I hope this helps you begin your week on a high note and show up for yourself this week. What is that one habit that you're going to change? How are you going to think differently? How are you going to feel differently about situations? What is that one situation that's really bothering you that you're going to start thinking differently about and feeling differently about? What are you telling yourself about this situation? And it has been repeatedly behaving in the same way in front of you. Change it. Change the way, write that one statement down. How is it that you would like it to appear in front of you, right? And say that statement to yourself repeatedly as while you're in the feeling that it has already been accomplished. And get in touch with me and let me know how that goes for you. I'd be very excited to see the transformation for you this week. Thank you very much for watching.